Where are we? Does anybody really know? Where indeed are we? We seem far, far away from the place our forefathers founded. My family were all settlers. They came here to this land when there was no one. No, not even local natives. Not even. They settled in places no one had ever lived. Settlers looking for a place away from and apart from a place that would give them the dignity of their own lives and the ability to build out of their own spirit, to build a home, a family, and a heritage. And they did. They most certainly did. And it brought others who wanted to build towns and cities, who wanted government, some good, some bad, some interlopers, some warriors, some troublemakers. And so it began. But not with the settlers. They did not come other than for their own very personal, very private concerns, to build a life apart, separate, unique from what they had known. And what had they known? Hunger, privation, misery, oppression, out of control government. They knew they were hated. They knew they had no chance of living a decent life. And by decent, what do I mean? Being able to feed their children rather than watching them die. Having any hope at all. So they came to a new place to find hope and to build a life of hope. And that's who we've been. That's how we started, at least. We started as a place of hope, and it seems that when we finally broke away from the oppressors who came to rule us here, we established hope again. Hope in the dignity of the person who wanted nothing more than to build a life of dignity, of hope, of strength, of whatever stability they could achieve. And we did that. And then we fought another terrible war with each other over that. And I'm not sure I know which side won, or which side gained control when the war was over. But there were more wars after that, more suffering. Yet there were times of great advancement, joy, strength, integrity. And all of it has come to this place where we are now. And I define anyone to know what this is. But we have not experienced this before. This is new. This is new to all of us. This is something we have not known, something we have not experienced, something unknown to us. What is it? What is it? Where are we? What do we have here that seems so foreign and seems so malicious and seems so hell-bent on chaos? What's happening to us? Where are we really? What really is going on? Well, we need to examine it. We need to understand it. We need to come to some judgment about it so that we can determine what direction we're going to go in. Not many of us are happy. Many of us are angry. But we're looking for a way to get a handle on it, a way to grab hold of it and figure out what we can do about it, because nothing seems apparent. It's not obvious. Those who are now in control seek to shut down every voice that is not aligned with them. What is that? What is that? That's not who we are. That's not us as a people. That's something very foreign. Something very frightening. Something I'm not sure we really want to be a part of. So how do we deal with it? How do we deal with it? Well, one thing I know for sure. We don't deal with it by hiding in a corner. We deal with it by standing on a street corner and declaring what we know to be true. Now, short of going out in the street and screaming and hollering and getting locked up, how do we do that? Well, this is certainly one way. Certainly is one way to express ourselves here on this platform that increasingly denies us the right to do so. Curious, isn't it? The avenues available to us for self-expression, particularly when those expressions are in conflict with seats of authority, seem to be increasingly limited. Curious, isn't it? Is that what we're living in? There are a lot of words for that. Words like tyranny, words like oppression, words like censorship, a lot of words. Those who are creating those enforcements would not choose to use those words, now would they? What words would they use? Purifying, cleansing. Ooh, Where have we heard that before? Mercy. Where indeed have we heard that before? We've heard it in the dark places in our world's history. We've heard it coming out of the mouths of tyrants, of slaughterers, of those committing murder and mayhem. That's where we've heard those words before. Now I have a take on all of this. My take is these are the fruits of godlessness. We are witnessing, experiencing the fruits of godlessness. These are the fruits that grow on a tree not nourished by the reality of God's creation, but nourished by the dark and frightened minds of those living in chaos, seeking somehow to control the chaos. Because if you're living in a world that is godless, you are living in a world that demands constant control, constant authority, constant constant effort to keep the wolf away from the door, to keep the elements of chaos from engulfing you. You live in a fearsome place. And that's the message that seems to come through from those who are seeking this authority, expressing, manifesting this authority. They're living in worlds. They're living in a world of imaginings so horrifying that their only escape, their only hope is to control the chaos. And my friends, those of us who live in a universe designed and authored by God are the chaos. Make no mistake. This is a war. Not a war of places and times, not a war of things, not a war of objects, not a war of territories. It is a war of spiritual truth. It is a war beyond all of the material. It is a war of principalities. It is a war between powers and forces greater than each and all of us combined can manage. We're but witnesses to it. We're witnesses to this great struggle as it once more rears its demonic head and seeks to destroy that which God has created. There are demons among us. Demons. And they are not men who live and breathe, for we are but the cattle. There are demons. Demons of the mind, demons of the soul, demons of the spirit, that seduce and manipulate and defraud and deceive. Demons, I say, are among us, deceiving us, misleading us, driving us into chaos. How shall we respond? In truth, there is but one way. We respond with faith in the living God. Faith in the living God. For if there is no living God, there is nothing left but chaos. I choose not to live in that universe. I choose not to live in chaos. I choose not to live under the authority of the demons of this world. I choose to say no to all of that and to choose instead to the greatest extent I am capable, and that's not a lot. Not a lot. I'm weaker than most. To seek out and to find the presence of God in my life, in my heart, in my soul, and to manifest Him as foolish and as ridiculous as that may be. That is my only hope. So, stand for Christ? Yes, absolutely stand for Christ. Absolutely. Because on that rock, there is no crumbling sand. On that rock, there is ultimate and absolute strength. Ultimate and absolute strength that cannot fail. That is not simply my faith. That is knowledge of the nature of reality. That is, what was, what will be, what remains when all else how can I do that? Is gone. Well, where do we go? I find it virtually worthless to go into churches. They're so badly compromised, so driven by demons. They themselves have become pits of hell. I don't know where to go. Be a voice in the wilderness, I think. Be a voice crying out, my God, do not forsake me. My God, do not forsake me. For I live in a world of madness. That's it. That's it. That is not just all we can do. That is the very best. The very best we can do. To speak to those minds who are blighted and darkened, to speak light to them, to grab them and hold them and speak light into their lives until that light drives out the darkness. That's all we can do. And that is the best we can do. And we do it, my love, in fear and trembling. In fear and trembling. For the only assurance we have is Christ on the cross, dying that we may be saved, and resurrecting that we will be saved. Indeed, that we are saved from all of the chaos and all of the blackness and all of the horror and all of the meanness and vulgarity, all of the hatred, all of the violence, all of it is driven out of our lives. And we are brought into his holy presence. Not by any means we can achieve, but by his grace, by his love, by his desire to have us with him and to have his world reflect him. So be it. Well, this has gone on long enough. Let's put a line at the bottom of it and sign it and send it off into the ether and see if it reaches an ear, an eye, a heart, a mind, a soul. See if it touches anyone. Let us love one another. Bye for now.